What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Mohammed ITAUMA, the real Bruce Lee Bosh, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So we've talked about this fight for a while. ITAUMA versus this rugby player here, Mike Rugby Gun. Shocking fight, to tell the truth. Anyway, in my videos talking about ITAUMA versus the rugby player, I mean, we've just seen a big stiff idiot rugby player. We don't need to see no more of them. We've just seen the best one. Johnny Fisher's the best rugby player going, okay? That's the best they got. He's no good. And Johnny Fisher's a young, hungry rugby player. This guy's 45 years old, people. I swear down to you right now. Yeah, I swear down to you right now. He's 45 trillion years old, and he plays rugby. Like, what the... Why would you... What? Anyway, in my videos talking about this fight, I mentioned GMAN, the company man, okay, running cover for his DAZN employers. Now listen, man, he's making money. I get it, man, but come on, bro. This was dead. This was dead. This is the best fight ever. I can't think of a better opponent. I've never heard of him before. What do you mean you couldn't? You just knocked out Dempsey McKean. At least we heard of McKean. Anyway, let's get to the bars from the company man.
You know, Moses ITAUMA, he's been announced. He's been announced for the Glasgow show, the one that Josh Taylor is headlining against Echo Usman. And he's fighting a guy by the name of Mike Balogun. Alright, now, Ade told me a bit about him. Apparently he was a former football player, made a go of things, ran into Moraka CF 2 years ago, was starched in 2 rounds. And since then he's had one fight. That was last March actually. And he's not fought since then. And I have absolutely no issue with this guy as an opponent.
I've got no... Wait there. He got knocked out by a cruiserweight 2 years ago. And he hasn't fought for 2 years. Oh, I got no problem with it. Oh, this is the best opponent ever. Oh, this is the one, for sure. It's the one the fans need to see, man. Anyway, let's carry on with this guy.
For Moses ITAUMA. No issue whatsoever. One of the reasons why I don't have an issue...
You think he believes what he's saying, man? Come on, bro. You don't even believe what he's saying, man. DAZN told you what to say, man. DAZN told you what to say. That's what they did. It's not even... Listen, I'm all for a bit of jucking and jiving for the paymasters. No one's gonna deny G-Man. Are you gonna deny G-Man to juck and jive to the paymasters? I'm not gonna deny him that. But come on, man. At least be like, listen... Just do one of them. Yeah, rugby, NFL. Just do one of them. I've got no problem at all. Eggy Hearn, not even Eggy Hearn, some Frank Fish Eyes told me this is wicked. And that's what it is. Bosh. Let's carry on with this dude here.
No issue with this guy as an opponent for Moses ITAUMA. No issue whatsoever. One of the reasons why I don't have an issue is because ITAUMA... For a variety of reasons, ITAUMA is young, he's still in the prospect stage, and some would say maybe he's a step down from a Dempsey McKean, and then how good really, maybe there's much between the two, you wouldn't really know. I haven't really seen much of this guy.
Some would say it's a step down from McKean, but I wouldn't know, and they're probably much of the same. How are they much of the same, bro? Let's work this out. Dempsey, yeah. I've seen him sparring Alex Pereira. His loss was to Hrgovic in round 12. He gave Hrgovic, who at the time, back in October 23, August 23, McKean gave... Hrgovic was certainly... He was in the top 3 of world prospects at that point. That was before he lost to Dubois. He was the boogeyman of the division. Oh, man, I'm the best in the division. That's what Hrgovic was. He was the best in the division. That's what he was at that point in time. Yeah, and McKean made it to round 12 and got TKO'd. That's the provenance on McKean. He lasted 12 rounds with one of the best heavyweight prospects, a boogeyman. He was really the boogeyman. In 2023, he was the boogeyman before Bacoli. Fact. Yeah, and McKean went 12 rounds with him. So how can you say... Oh, AB, you hating. Oh, no, it's not the script from DAZN. What is it then? Because you're just lying to yourself. How are they much of the same? Let's see what Mike Balogun's done. Because he must have done something right to be on the same level as McKean. Let's see what Balogun. Let's see what the rugby player done. I mean, to be fair to GMAN, let me not be that harsh. Let's look at this picture for a second. Let me not be too harsh here. Let's have a look at this picture. Where's the picture at? Here we go. Let's have a look at this picture of Mike Balogun. So I don't want to be too harsh here. Okay, listen, let's be fair here. Listen. I see a big rugby playing hat there. He's got he's got a good helmet there. He's got some shoulder pads on. So yeah, he'd probably be good at boxing, to be fair to him. I'm not hating on GMAN. This guy here looks like a good, proper rugby player. And hence, he probably is as good as McKean. Because look, he's got his helmet, he's got his shoulder pads on, he's got his Nikes on. When sports people put their Nikes on, you know they're serious. So I'm not trying to be hateful here on the company man, GMAN. Come on, man. These are the best. You put his name in, these pictures come up. What would he know about boxing, man? Oh, but YB, you ain't done nothing. Let's see what this guy's done then. Let's see what this guy's done right now. Balogun. Yeah? Let's see, look at Balogun. He's known for getting sparkled 2.5 years ago in 2 rounds against a washed-up cruiserweight, Murat Gassiev. And that fight was controversial. I did a video on it a few months ago when this fight was announced. It was a phantom shot. The shot didn't land. And Balogun was in a big heap on the floor from Gassiev in 2 rounds. Yeah? So how can Dempsey McKean be much of the same with Balogun? And G-Man even says, I haven't seen much of Balogun. So how would you know he's much of the same with McKean then? Because this guy got sparked. McKean didn't even get sparked. McKean didn't get sparked by Hrgovic. He was in there for 12 rounds. And apparently he was somewhat competitive. Gassiev, a cruiserweight, sparkled this guy with a phantom punch. It looks like Wilder versus Malik Scott. He jumped on the floor. So you have to believe G-Man's a company man and he's got his script from DAZN, or, I mean, how would you explain it? Does he really think? Where's the evidence here? Where's the evidence this guy can do anything? Who's he beating? I mean, there's not even half a name on here, man. There's not even half a name on here. This resume's pumped up. Yeah? Because when it mattered, I mean, his last fight a year ago, he fought Lamont Capers, who was 11-20. Mike Balogun's last fight was against a dude who was 11-20. And Balogun went 8 rounds the distance, couldn't stop him. And Lamont Capers has been stopped 8 times in his life. So Balogun couldn't stop a man who's been stopped 8 times. And he went points. And you're telling me he's the same as Dempsey McKean, who almost went the distance with Hrgovic? That's ridiculous. That is company script. Yeah? This guy will jump on the floor. If he was scared of a cruiserweight Gassiev, what do you think he can do with ITAUMA when ITAUMA's hopping around? He's going to shit his pants. And I think this ITAUMA fight will be very similar to, again, it will be similar to Wilder versus Bermain Stavern 2. Yeah. Wilder versus Malik Scott. Very early, ITAUMA's going to hit somewhere. It could be his glove, could be his head. The first shot that lands anywhere, on his shoulder, on his elbow, he'll be on a big heap in the floor. He won't want it. And I get it. I wouldn't want it either. I wouldn't want ITAUMA hopping around 245 and swinging big shots over. I'd probably jump on the floor too, but that's not the point. G-Man wants you to believe this is, oh, you're wrong for believing it's a step back. These two are much of the same. You're ridiculous, bro. Much of the same. How? How is it much of the same? There's plenty of people I'd rather see. But I don't even want to see that. I was about to say Ebenezer Tete. I don't even want to see that, though. Let me think of some. Let's have a look at some of these names quick. What plumbers they could have got in there. But I've never even heard of him. It's like, where did you dig him up from? Where did they dig this guy up from? And then you're trying to tell me this. Oh, yes, it's phenomenal. I don't agree with everyone saying it stepped down, but nah, this is the best thing ever. Trust me. He's fighting Mohamed Aymard, Yusuf Kabayel, Golovkin. That's who he's fighting. Mike Golovkin. Listen, man, G-Man, we got it wrong. I got it wrong. We got it. Let me cancel this video right now. To be fair to G-Man, Moses ITAUMA is fighting Mike Golovkin. We got it. Sorry, it was sorry, bro. Apologies for this video. I got the translations wrong. I converted his name from NFL rugby to boxing. His boxing name is Mike Golovkin. So we're wrong. This is a proper step up. Anyway, let's see who we could have fought. Yeah? This is the thing. I did videos on this, but ITAUMA was saying Pulev's too old. Joe Joyce is too short. Hrgovic don't want it. There's 3 for just off the rip. Tony Oka. Yeah? Huey Fury. These would be steps up. Let's find someone about the same level as Dempsey McKean. Wallin! Wallin all day and night, man. What's Wallin gonna do? Wallin would be more or less the same. Maybe a slight step up, but that's the point. You just sparked McKean in 1 round. You need to be stepping up and or the same. Wallin, Chisora, washed up Chisora just had a go on him. If ITAUMA can't beat Wallin, he's no good. But even at this point, 20 years old or not, if you can't find a way to beat Wallin, you ain't going nowhere. It's a bit like Fisher and Dave Allen. If you can't find a way to beat an untrained Dave Allen, then come on, let's get realistic here. Makhmudov, stiff as a board. Makhmudov would be, he's got popped by someone else recently. Makhmudov would have been a big stiff idiot to get in there for ITAUMA. A similar level or maybe a tiny step above Dempsey McKean. Wallin, Dempsey McKean, Wallin, Anslecki, the Nifandaral, Makhmudov. Let's have a look what else we got on page 2. There's a bunch of stiffs on there. I wouldn't know, man, but at least get a half decent stiffler in there. There's a bunch. Charles Martin again. They was talking about that fight. Charles Martin said he'll come over here and tap the arse, belt to arse. That's what Charles Martin said. Charles Martin said, "I'm old enough to be his daddy, and I'll come to the UK and put belt to arse." Yeah, and the thing is, Jared Anderson, he had about a similar amount of fights as ITAUMA, and he fought Charles Martin. Yeah. Charles Martin, another name. A slight step up from Dempsey McKean. Let's see what's going on. Bear in mind, it was Frank Warren running his big mouth. Francis Warren running their big mouths. Yeah, Charles Martin's a punk. He's sweet. Oh yeah, Joe Joyce is shot. Oh yeah, Hrgovic don't want it. Pulev's too old. Any one of them 4 names, I'll be like, yeah man, fair play to this light skin. The potential light skin prophet. But this guy? RUGBY? Really? Who else we got on here? Obviously Johnny. Tom Schwartz. Another stiff in there. Similar level. Tom Schwartz is similar level to... What's that dude's name? I forgot his name now. Dempsey McKean. And it's got some name value. I think Tyson Fury stopped Schwartz actually. Wallin shit himself with AJ. Shit himself with Chisora. He'd have been fish food. And... what's his name? ITAUMA could look to do it better than AJ and better than Chisora. The name value's there. Let's see what happens. No, they've got RUGBY. Yeah? That's what they've got. I'll just give you a bunch of names already. There's a bunch of names. Gerald Washington. Get his stiff ass in there. Dominic Brazil. Get his stiff ass in there. There's a bunch of names if you do some work. Where do they find this name at? Seriously, I told you before, they found this name on Backpage. Yeah? This is the back page. This guy is retired NFL. He's probably blew all his coins on sniff and gold chains, diamond encrusted Moody knockoff bust down chains. And he's on Backpage. He's on Craigslist. Hey, looking for ex-retired NFL player. Looking for work. And Frank Warren's sitting there like, we got this 40. He's 45 as well. He's not even like he's a 30-year-old NFL dude who's crossing over. This guy is washed. He's washed, man. He's washed. And he plays rugby. He's not even a young rugby player. He's an old rugby player. Yeah? An old rugby player is the best you could find. Look, oh, YB, you hating. He ain't that old. Let's see how old this cat is right now. Because GMAN, he knows, right? He must be young. Mike Rugby Ogun. See what Mike Rugby Ogun's up to. Yeah? I heard Ade running cover as well, playing defence. He was like, yeah, this guy's 38 years old. He's 42, man. Yeah, he's 41-year-old. He's 42 in September 28th. Okay? He's 45 years old. He's not 38. He's an old rugby player, man. There's nothing good about this. Why lie to the masses as well? Just tell the truth. Say, listen, guys, I can't tell you my opinion. I'm on the DAZN payroll now. But this is what they think about the fight. Just do that, man. Yeah? And make a Patreon and plug your real thoughts on there. At least we'd tell you a fair play to him. This is dead, though. Yeah? Pissing on me and telling me it's raining. That's what this feels like right now. No.
But I don't mind it. And to be honest, and then how good really, maybe there's variety of reasons. ITAUMA's young, he's still in the prospect stage, and some would say maybe he's a step down from a Dempsey McKean, and then how good really, maybe there's much of muchness between the two, you wouldn't really know. I haven't really seen much of this guy. But I don't mind it. And to be honest...
And by the way, if you say it's much of the same between the two, you can't then say I haven't really seen much of him. The fact you haven't seen much of him, and or heard much of him, and or can't box rec much of him, means they can't be the same. Yeah? Because Balogun... Listen, if Balogun had gone 11 rounds, 10 rounds with Gassiev, I still wouldn't think that was that good, because who's Gassiev at heavyweight? No one, but still. You'd say, well, let's see if he can do better than Gassiev. He got smoked. Yeah? He got popped with one shot against Gassiev and was on the floor in a big heap. He's 42 years old. That's old for real boxers, man. Who's made it look good at 42? Who? What proper boxer made it look good at 42? Oops. Not one. Name one. Who you got? There's no one who made it look good at 42. Klitschko got punched up. He did look alright, but he got punched up nonetheless, man. How alright are you looking if you're getting punched up? Let's call a spade here.
Honest, knowing now that the Mike Tyson record, that's not going to be broken, right? They're not going to do it. For me, I look at ITAUMA and I think, all right, let's rein it in a little bit. Not that he's been looking bad, he hasn't, but you're not going to break Mike Tyson's record. It's just not going to happen, right? Because the timing and stuff like that. So now that is no longer a thing, what's the point in rushing him? I don't really understand that.
Rushing him? Bro, what do you mean rushing him? Explain the rugby player, man. A 45-year-old rugby player. Never mind rushing him. He wants to get some rounds now. I'm not sure Wallin would give him rounds. But it's no good. These in this new age, yeah, the Bum of the Month campaign is dangerous. Outside of pay-per-view pocket digging. Yeah? If you're trying to build a real complete fighter, he needs professional rounds against people who can't punch, like Wallin. He might not even give him rounds, but that's the... Yeah? You just sparked McKean in 1 or 2 rounds, whatever it was, and you've gone to a... McKean's like 32. You've now gone to a 45-year-old unknown rugby player who's got no chin and jumped on the floor against cruiserweight. I agree, there's no rush. That's why I give names that I thought maybe... I said at the time, Joe Joyce is a step too far, even if I'd back ITAUMA to win. Hrgovic a step too far. Their big mouth, though, was running, calling them names out. Pulev, okay, maybe I think I like the Pulev fight as well, but he wanted too much money, whatever. All the other bums I just mentioned, though. Wallin, Schwartz. Proper boxers who are limited and can't punch. Yeah? Let's see what they can do. I've got no problem with ITAUMA going on a mid-level Bum of the Month campaign. Wallin, Schwartz, all the Charles Martin. I think that makes sense, probably. Get some rounds in, or try to, but not... I'm not thinking about the Jarrell Millers or... I mean, a few fights in, why not Joe Joyce? Yeah? Or why not Pulev? But it needs to be a boxer, man. How fucking crazy is that? You've just come off your best win against a guy who Hrgovic went life and death with essentially, and you're stepping... I'm not even sure. Let me look at ITAUMA's resume. I'm not even sure ITAUMA fought this level of stifler when he was in his first 10 fights. And I want to contrast this with Jared Anderson, because we laugh at Jared Anderson and he's a bit corny. And obviously we can look back now and say, oh, he made the wrong decisions, but he did roll the dice, man. Rightly or wrongly, he rolled the dice. And he's had a few more fights in ITAUMA, to be fair. Let's have a quick look. He's had 18, 19 fights now. But even these, look. Adri Rudenko. Was a bum, but whatever. Charles Martin's on there. Jerry Forrest. These guys do actually box, though. Jerry Forrest took Zhang the distance. Why not him? I'm pretty sure. Anderson sparked him out, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, look. This guy, Jerry Forrest, he went points with Zhang in a mixed decision. Is it mixed? Majority decision. Mixed decision. Mixed kebab. Listen, this guy, Jerry Forrest, yeah, he had a mixed kebab draw with Zhang. He then goes on a split decision draw with Hunter. He then goes points with Pulev. Anderson clips him in 2 rounds. He has a points loss against Takam. He has a point split decision loss against Jermaine Franklin. These are solid stats. No one apart from Jared Anderson's been able to sparkle him. And he's coming off 2 wins against Bummingtons. But you see the point. Someone like this would be better. He's a real boxer. Most people can't. Everyone but Jared Anderson couldn't stop him. All the top fighters couldn't stop him. Durable. Yeah? Get him in there. Jermaine Franklin, that'll be a step too far at this point. Jermaine Franklin, he ain't a punk. Muffin Top ain't a punk. Dillian White couldn't stop him. Dillian White went life and death. Some people think Jermaine Franklin won. But you see what I mean? It's someone like this, who's an established, top level, it's disrespectful to say journeyman, but you know what I mean? He's like that level. A serious journeyman. A serious B-side who turns up and he's gonna give it his best. What, are you scared of ITAUMA getting clipped by this guy? I'd argue McKean's a serious journeyman. Similar kind of resume to this guy. He goes points / gets stopped in late rounds against top level guys, like McKean did. Similar level. He's 28-6. No, I wouldn't argue with this kind of fight. Looking at the resume, it makes sense, and it builds a fundamental narrative that no one else could do it, right? Or very few couldn't. We just sparked someone out that Zhang couldn't spark out. So you're building, rather than talking like ITAUMA's been doing about how Joe Joyce is shot and how he doesn't want to hurt Joe Joyce and how Pulev's too old. That's all. I was gassed. I was like, oh man, this guy's the light-skinned prophet. But to talk all that shit and then pop out with a rugby player, that's bad, bro. That's dead. That's super deep. That's what I expect. I mean, he's light-skinned. That's what to be honest, man. To be honest, this is what I expected. You know what I mean? This is the Anthony Yarde playbook. 1 step forward, 10 steps back. This is how it's looking for me. This is how it's looking, man. You just sparked me in 1 round, McKean. How are you going backwards? Bigly as well. Bigly backwards. It's not even a horizontal step. You proper fell off. This should have been your... People, if he was fighting this guy, yeah. This rugby gun. Micah rugby gun, yeah. If he was fighting this guy in his debut or around there, we'd probably let it slide. Not when you've got some... You stopped Wack. This is what I'm saying as well. It's not just about McKean. He stops Marius Wack, who's known to be durable. He stops him in 2 rounds. He stops McKean in 1 round. This new plumber you've got, this rugby playing plumber, he ain't even on the level of these two, McKean or Wack. But where have you dug him up from? Never heard of him, man. It's annoying. I'm pretty sure Dillian White fought Wack, couldn't stop him. ITAUMA sparked him. Fraser Clark couldn't stop Marius Wack. Kevin Lorena couldn't stop Marius Wack. Ans Leckie did. Hughie Fury couldn't stop Marius Wack. Dillian White couldn't stop Marius Wack. So the trend is here. I wouldn't even mind. What's his name? For example. I guess they wouldn't do that because of Johnny Fisher, but... The Cabbage Babbage. The Cabbage Babbage. Yeah? You never know. Right, get the Cabbage Babbage in there. Stick his chin out. At least he's a boxer. Light heavyweight, but still, at least he's a boxer, man. Get Alan the Cabbage Babbage in there. It's better than this one. At least we know Cabbage will come in there and throw his hands left and right, and who knows? Yeah? So it's making me believe now. Do they know something we don't? Allegedly, he was injured. I'm not sure how much I believe of that. Why? Injured how? Injured how, bro? He knocked him out in 1 round. But he might have soft hands. He might have soft bones, like Fraser soft bones, Clark. I don't know. He's light skinned, man. He's probably got soft bones. He's got mutant soft bones. They call it half-baked for a reason. His bones are half-baked. So is it possible he's got soft hands, soft bones? Is it possible he's Fraser Clark's long-lost brother? You never know, do you? But I doubt he's actually an injury. And the way his mouth was running, yeah... I don't want to hurt Joe Joyce. It wouldn't be good for his health if I got in there with Joe Joyce. The way he was running his mouth, it don't sound like someone who's injured to me. If you're injured, you say, listen, man, I'll keep my mouth shut because either I'm not fixing to fight them because I'm injured. But he was running his mouth like he was ready to go. That's what he was doing. I don't respect that. That's dead. Don't run your mouth, yeah, and dig up some 50-year-old rugby player on the masses. And then get GMAN and all the DAZN homosexuals to run defense. Yeah? That's what you don't do. That's what I don't like. For sure.
Frank Warren. Now that that is no longer a thing, what's the point in rushing him? I don't really understand that. Frank Warren seems to maybe not get that memo and maybe thinks that no, we'll rush him regardless whether he breaks Mike Tyson's record or not. Because there's a quote here on X on the.
We're gonna rush him. The fuck what are you on about? He's not lying. It's an NFL game, bro. This guy got rushing yards, man. He's a defensive line. He got rushing yards. You're right. ITAUMA is rushing, man. He's fighting an NFL player, man. He got rushing yards on his ass. That's what he's got.
The Ring Magazine's X account, and it's from Frank Warren on a recent interview with Sky Sports with regards ITAUMA. He said, and I quote, "I think ITAUMA could fight for a world title this year. Who knows, he may fight Usyk this year." Says he believes ITAUMA could fight for a world title in 2025 and believes a clash with Usyk may even be possible.
So, listen. GMAN's wanking off over, they're rushing him. Oh, Frank wants Usyk. Listen, bro. That's the old school. Okay. I know you're a company man. He probably knows the truth. He's probably not properly unwashed. And hence, is he unwashed and he really don't get it? Because this is the okie doke I've been telling you, man, about. They do this all the time. Oh, we're fighting Usyk next month. And then they dig up a stinker. Anthony Yarde did this all the time. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're fighting Boratsi. Bosh. Lindenau for free. This is the playbook. Put your name in their names, and then fight a biggest stiff you ever heard of in your life. And it's looking like Anthony Yarde. It really is. Obviously, he's a lot younger. He's 20 years old. But I remember when Yarde was young. Do you remember when Yarde was young? Yarde was 25 once. I was there. Me and him are similar age. And I was there thinking, wow, he's doing so much with his life. And he has done a lot more than me, obviously. But I remember thinking, like, whoa. He's had 2 good fights, people. In the last 10 years, Anthony Yarde, Kovalev and Beterbiev. He's had 2 good fights in 10 years. So it's all well and good saying, oh, he's young, we got time. Again, I thought the same about Anthony Yarde. And he was always still saying, I got a video coming soon, Yarde's still saying to this day, oh, I'm still learning. Bro, you're 33, man. You're 33 for a twitchy fighter, which is old. For a fighter who relies on explosiveness a lot, you're old, bro. Certainly olding. Yeah? And in most sports, 20 isn't that young. It's not that, I guess you can argue it probably is, but I'm trying to think, what was Usain Bolt doing? How old was Usain Bolt? Let's have a look quickly, for example. Oh, come on, bro. How old was Usain Bolt? First world record. Here we go. Usain Bolt was 21 years old when he set his first world record in 100 meters. So, and people like Michael Phelps was 19 when he got 6 gold medals. Different sports, but what that shows you is athletic prowess. It's well known. Most, like back in the day, yeah, 30 was old. I'm talking 20 years ago, even in football. Back in the day, 30 was like, I remember playing like football manager type games. And 30 was seen as, you'd kind of overlook them, like, oh, he's tired now. Yeah, and that's the truth. People kind of blag it now, if I'm honest. But there's no reason you can't be close to your athletic peak at 21, 25 years old. And if you're pinging, sparking out Whacking 2, sparking out Dempsey McKean, if you're a prodigy, like Usain Bolt, like Michael Phelps, like that tennis cat right now, I forgot his name, he was another one, super young. If you're a prodigy, bro, this is what I'm saying. And boxing's a bit different, it's a dangerous game, come on, man. No one said you need to get in there with Muhammad, Imad, Usyk, Golovkin, Gennady. Yeah? I've given you a bunch of names already. A 45 trillion year old rugby player, man. Don't play with me, G-Man. Don't do it. It's annoying. It's insulting on the masses. That's what it is. Don't do that. I'm happy with this. Yeah, you'll be happy with it. Like you was Anthony Yarde. That's what it sets a bad precedent in these guys' minds. Yeah, that's what it does. It makes them realise, ooh, I can make 300 bags and fight once or twice a year. Fighting bums. That's what Yarde got into. Comfortable. Oh, I like fighting bums. I get paid 300 bags. I can have a year off and fight again. Yeah? That's what it sets. Look at Mike Tyson. I don't even think Mike Tyson fought 42-year-old men. But if he was doing that, he was fighting every 2 weeks at the start of his career. ITAUMA's just had 6 months off. And this is what we get? A 42-year-old rugby player. Stop playing with me. It's not acceptable at all. There's no justification for it. 6 months off for this. And GMAN wants more of these. It's, yeah, let's take some time. Let's get a few rugby players in there. Oh, I've heard Michael Vick, an NFL player. He's 60 now. Let's get him in there. If this fight had been in January or February, and ITAUMA was getting ready to fight again in May, we might have let it slide. But not on a 6-month cycle. A 6-month cycle, you got to be showing me something. What else you doing? This type of caliber should be, he's fighting once a month, on the month, to get his rounds in. Just get experience of preparing and getting out, in and out. Like Mike Tyson was fighting every 2 weeks, man. That's what this type of opponent... I'm not even sure Mike fought an NFL player, washed-up rugby player, man. Even when he was coming up. Sorry. I don't think he did. Never mind. What is with this 6-month thing as well? You're a young prodigy. A young prodigy needs to be out there harnessing his craft. This 6 months rubbish is for like 30-year-old plus established boxers. Young dudes who recover quick. They're constantly improving. They're growing. They're getting their man strength. You've got to be out there learning your craft. Once every 6 months, it's like you've already done it already. Oh, I've already done it now. I'll fight some rugby players. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing, people. This is. And this is how you ruin prodigies, man. You have to let him off the leash. You can't be too strategic about it. Yeah? That doesn't mean you throw him in there with someone who's really hard straight away, but it means you let them fight their level. You don't go back. You don't go back with a prodigy. That's what you don't do. You don't go back. You don't take 10 steps back and dig up an old rugby player. That's what you don't do with prodigies. You've always got to be moving forward and or horizontal. Not back 10 steps. Because what's that going to mean? Take 10 steps back and then, we're going to These men are rebuilding after all, knockout winning round 1. That's what it looks like. Yeah? This 60-year-old rugby player would be a good call. Let's say ITAUMA had went life and death with McKean. Yeah? He goes life and death with McKean. At that point, we say, oh. And I wouldn't knock it if he went life and death with McKean, which is okay. He's young. He needs some time. You're sparkling dudes in unprecedented fashion. What are you doing? And you're running your mouth and it's pissing me off as well. Oh, y'all. Oh, y'all. Joe. Oh, I like Joe. I don't want to hurt Joe, y'all. You don't want to hurt Joe Joyce, but you're happy beating on a 50-year-old rugby player who can't even defend himself. Mate, that makes sense. I'm worried about Joe Joyce's health if he fights me, but I'm happy to punch up a rugby player who's 50 years old. That's corny, man. That's fake and gay. Yeah, running your beak, bumping your gums, and then digging up some 60-year-old professional ball player. Yeah? I don't want to hear no more from these industry plants, man. End of the day. You can't do this to the masses. Just lie in our face like that. And even the comments here. I do have a problem with this fight. Uncle Frank is pumping up ITAUMA's tie. I don't know what he's doing. Man. They're talking about Usyk and Bacoli and we want Bacoli. Frank, you don't even want Charles Martin, to be fair. You don't even want Otto Wallin. Bottom line, never mind Bacoli. If you were going to fight Bacoli, you'd have to have the Wallin fight scheduled now. Bottom line. Oh, but Frank Warren said, we're not waiting around for Bacoli. We want him next. Really? You didn't want Charles Martin next. You didn't want Wallin next, but we're to believe you want Bacoli next. And end of the year is too late. Well, you just waited half a year to fight an NFL player. So if you really wanted Piccoli, waiting another 6 months, what difference would that make for a proper fight if you were gagging through it? You're not gagging through it. You're putting his name out there, and it irritates me when you... It's just irritating. And then someone pissing on me as well. Yeah? Listen, the DAZN cabal are pissing on us and telling us, oh, that's some warm rain right now. Tropical rain on your ass. That's how it feels. And it's disrespectful. Yeah? And who knows what he's like when he takes a shot? And that's the question. Do they know something we don't? I've heard he's sparkling everyone in sparring, but make it make sense another way. If I'm a prospect, if I'm the next Imad Mike Tyson, as a man, I wouldn't even accept this fight. Yeah? As a man who has talked about how I'd do some serious harm to Joe Joyce, as a man, I wouldn't even accept that fight, honestly. I say, listen, Frank, don't bring that shit to my table again. That's dead. Yeah? I am the light-skinned prophet, Moses ITAUMA. Get me some proper work. I'm fixing to fill a proper plumber in this time. Don't ever bring me that again. Frank, don't ever put a 50-year-old rugby player, basketball player on my desk again. Are we clear? Yeah? That's what I'll be telling Frank. That's disrespectful to me. Who the fuck you think this is, man? I'm the prophet of the light-skins. Yeah? I've come to save the YB's gambling. That's what I've come to do. We ain't got time to play. We've got money to make. So it makes you question ITAUMA's mindset as well. Much like Anthony Yarde. All this big talk, and it's either pure bums. Where's his head at? How could he accept this as a man who's just knocked out 2 top fighters? How could you ever accept this? How? Tells me something's potentially off here. Psychologically with ITAUMA, and or his chin's no good. I don't know. Something ain't lining up for me. Something ain't lining up, people. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Some people stop it. Hup, bosh.